So we're going to create this beautiful card, Sweet Little Fairy. We created it last night on our facebook.com/Gittin Crafty Stampin' live, but for some reason it didn't record to my smartphone. So I wanted to make sure I showed you guys how to create this very sweet, sparkling little card inspired by what looks like my little daughter and the fairy shimmers that I love to do in my hair. So let's go ahead and create this sweet little card for you right now. We're going to use this whole lot of lovely designer series paper. It's so pretty, isn't it? And we're going to use the Stampin' Blends. Our Stampin' Blends are an alcohol-based marker. I do 2 lives every Monday, and this was the second card that we created for our Gettin' Crafty family. Our Gettin' Crafty family is a group of us that enjoy the discount, and I get extra lives with them and creating time. It's tons of fun using the Pick a Pattern, and both of these stamp sets are the Fairy Celebration stamp set. Isn't that beautiful? Super fun, and with our colors we can make it just have so much pop and wow with these beautiful little fairy girls. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take this piece of Whisper White cardstock, and we're going to take this sweet little fairy here. I like to stamp backwards. After a car accident I was in, I have a tendency to drop things, and so a heavy stamp can be challenging to hold. So what I'm going to do instead is ink it with the Memento black ink pad, and it's what you use when you're using our Stampin' Blends, and then I'm going to stamp it down just like so. You don't have to push hard, but because it's larger, you want to make sure that the pressure in the middle was achieved. Oh, isn't she adorable? Then we're going to use this May Your Wish Come True stamp from the same set, just like so. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I love how fun it is to create cards in a magical scene just like this. Now I'm going to scooch in, see if you guys can see this better, on the fairy. So as I color her, you should be able to see her more in depth. We're going to use our Stampin' Blends in the Old Olive, the Crumb Cake, and the Pool Party. Let's see if I can get these all lined up. And the Pumpkin Pie and the Calypso Coral. And one of my friends, oh, and we're also going to use the skin tone in Ivory. This makes me so happy that she will have a realistic skin tone. That for itself is just priceless. I love it. Okay. So what we're going to do is let's start with the Ivory. And the reason I love to color the skin tone is it's really hard to achieve that look. And with alcohol-based markers, you need the specialty ink of the Memento Tuxedo Black, but she's going to look really realistic, just like so. And we're going to color her legs in. It's super easy. Our alcohol markers have a fine tip paintbrush, just like so, and they have a pen side. The lids need to clamp down and make a clicking noise, like a snap, and that snap is magical when you are listening to it. So what I like to do is remove the lid, place it on the table, line up the 2 pieces, and listen for the snap. Just that little snap is a beautiful sound. Okay, now a friend of mine, Eimer, she lives in England, and she actually found a toadstool that had these beautiful colors. They're very reminiscent. I didn't know they actually existed, but they are very reminiscent of what you would see in storybooks. So what we're going to do is color that in. I'm going to start with the lighter of the 2. You can see it has a paintbrush side and a pen side and a paintbrush side. It lists the color right here, light Calypso Coral. And I like to start with the lightest because it's easier for me to work that way. I'm going to go underneath of her foot on this little toadstool, just like so, going around leaving that white for a pop of color. So once you've colored it in, you make sure you have that click. You can place it down. Snap. It's a pretty sound, I'm just saying. And then we're going to use the darker. And what we're going to do is accentuate the different parts. Now there's a natural shadow where she is sitting. So you're going to go in with the darker and kind of highlight where she's sitting as if it's a shadow. You want to find your natural light source on any project that you do for coloring. These alcohol-based markers are easy to create with. And I have a harder time standing when I'm painting with this, so I have a tendency to make little boo-boos. The nice thing is, with our blends, if you get the color lifter, you can easily pick up those colors, and you can fix your boo-boos, just like you would see in this circle here. And here it's kind of stark when you see the two, like so. So I'm going to place this dark color back on, snap. I'm going to take that lighter color of the two, and I'm going to create a third color by blending the two in right here. That's going to give me my natural shadow and my light source over here on the toadstool. Easy peasy. And with the color in this circle, just like here, you can see that there. That is going to drive me nuts. I get a little A-type on that. I'm going to use the pen side of our color lifter, not the ivory. Holy cannoli, I almost did the bigger boo-boo. Our color lifter is a must-have, in my opinion, because you can go over and over, and it will pull up the color and erase that color for you. It looks wet, but it's all gone. Give it a second to dry. I live in California, so for me, these flowers quickly became a California poppy. But I did also color them in the blue, so you can see here how sweet she looks just like that. That was the pool party. But being that I love to represent my state, I'm going to highlight the flower of my state. Okay, so what we're going to do here is highlight my California poppy. I'm going to move this card out of the way. And I like to follow the line of any image that you're coloring. So going here, I am following along the edge so I don't exceed the edge, like this. And then I'm going to follow the way that this flower should be laying. And you can create a little white shadow if you want to lighten it. And then we're going to add some dark into that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And it's going to be a little bit darker back here because she's leaning away, in my opinion. The little flower's leaning away. And then we're going to take the darker of the two, and I'm going to highlight the bottom of the flower and up the stem and up the sides there. Give you that natural shadow. You have to decide which side's going to be darker. And then I go in, and right where the two inside and outside meet, I have a tendency to put a little bit of color there. I think that it creates a natural shadow. And then highlight the lines that are already on there, like that, for a natural, like, it's already been drawn in. You don't want to make up color if you don't have to. And don't overthink it. Less is more with a project like this. You don't have to add a ton of color or do a ton of technique to create depth. And you can see how beautiful that flower is. Now I'm going to color this in pretty quickly, and you can see it all come together. Again, same technique, lighter, and then I'm going to accentuate the darker. So you can see here with the green, how I started coloring that in. I'm going to just accentuate it very lightly with this, getting the darker part up here. You don't have to color the whole stem on something like this, which is really great. I like to do those, the ones underneath of a flower, you know, darker. Now it's underneath of the toadstool here. I will darken that just a smidge, just because it's a natural shadow. And then like here, maybe only the bottom piece is there. And really, there's no right or wrong with coloring. I love coloring. It's a natural process. And the more you play with it, the more you're gonna love it. So you can see how the coral and the crumb cake and the old olive all come together. They're perfectly designed to work together. Now we're going to do her hair in the crumb cake. And the reason I'm picking the crumb cake is my girls and I have honey colored hair. We have honey or whiskey colored hair. It's not blonde. It used to be blonde when I was a little girl. I think a lot of that was the lemon that I used in my hair, or the fact that I lived outside constantly when I was little. You might want a little bit of that lighter white to pop through, and it's not wrong because we're going to add shadow here right to the root, and I'm going to add it coming down just a little bit, and then I'm going to highlight some of that. That lighter will help play off, and then you can see here right where it's shadowed closer to her, I'm going to darken that just a smidge right there. It's actually going to make her face look lighter, and you can see here with the wings how I went in and made sure her wings were accentuated between the hair strands right there. Ooh, I love it. Don't you love how easy and fun this card is? Now take your clear Wink of Stella. It's a glitter paintbrush, and just highlight the flower because, you know, we all like our flowers to sparkle. Just a little bit there. But above all, get her wings. I mean, seriously, we need a beautiful wing, and maybe her nose and her toes. I love little toes. You can see our full live that we did on facebook.com, Gettin' Crafty Stampin'. My friend Maggie owns a brand of a company called Fairy Shimmers. You can find her on Instagram, under Instagram Fairy Shimmers, and she adds all the sparkle to my hair, and I love it. So I wanted to add a little sparkle to our girls' hair and wings to highlight the beauty of this project. Now, all I'm going to do is layer it over the whole lot of lovely designer series paper. Isn't it gorgeous? And with the flowers, you really pick up the same colors. We're going to use our snail adhesive. Anytime you color with blends, you want to make sure you have something underneath, and I didn't because I knew I wasn't going to saturate the card, but the more color you add, the better. Then we're going to take the old olive cardstock. We're going to place it down just like so. With the snail adhesive, I cut this, I scored it at 5.5 and then cut it at 4 1/4 so that you have this really great elongated card just like that. And you can stamp on the inside if you wanted. It's really easy to do, but it's tons of fun. I hope you enjoyed creating with us today. And if you want to see this live or any of our others, go to facebook.com/Gettin' Crafty Stampin', and you can see the full tutorial on how to order all of your supplies at gettingcraftystampin.com. Thanks for showing up and playing with me. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Would you like to take a crafting cruise with me? Join us, a group of wonderful crafting men and women going to Ensenada, Mexico on the Crafting Cruise. See more at gettingcraftystampin.com where you can join us. Join right now for the March 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's 4 full days. 3 nights on a great cruise to Ensenada, Mexico, leaving from Long Beach, California. Take and make your reservations now. Spots are filling up and we only have a certain amount on hold. So make sure you do it, and you can make payments as low as, I think it's $120 a night. That is cheaper than most hotel suites. Based on double occupancy, a whole weekend full, 4 full crafting sessions, goodie bag, great raffle items. It's limitless. Make sure that you join us. Check it out at gettingcraftystampin.com for an amazing retreat at an amazing price. We'll see you there.